Hey, it's me, MLB. This is chapter 63 of Touch. This one is titled Derpy Bird versus Burnt Nugget. Looks like I can burn 2 twigs at once, Dabi sneered as he lifted his hand up to activate his quirk. Hawks quickly put you down and pushed you behind him, shooting 2 small feathers at Dabi and slicing his arm open. Dabi dropped his arm and recoiled as his steely gaze fell on Hawks. Interesting that you're willing to save her, but you didn't do jack for me, Dabi growled angrily. It's only a matter of time before you turn against her, Keigo Takami. Hawks's eyes shot wide open. How do you know my name? Who are you? Dabi sneered deviously. Touya Todoroki. You gasped from behind Hawks and poked your head out. No, but this is good, right? You two are friends, right? Right? You said urgently. There was a very tense silence between the 2 males as they continued to stare each other down. Touya, I'm so sorry. Shut up, Keigo. You're not sorry. I don't want to hear it, Dabi shouted angrily. What was I supposed to do, man? I was freaking out. I was 9, for God's sake, Hawks shouted back. Oh, I don't know, maybe not turn against me like that, Dabi shouted sarcastically again. You said softly from behind Hawks. What's going on? It's a long story, baby. Can I tell you later? Hawks asked softly, his eyes never leaving Dabi's. No, it's a pretty bloody short story if you ask me, Dabi snapped back. Go ahead and tell her, Keigo. Let her know the truth so her final thoughts towards you are hate, he sneered. Keigo? You asked apprehensively to your man as he stood staring Dabi down with a pained expression on his face. Hawk said softly, his voice trailing off. Come on, coward, tell her, Dabi snapped. The day Touya was pushed beyond his limits, that was because of me, Hawk said sadly, taking his eyes off Dabi to look at you, his face full of regret. No, you said softly, shaking your head. No, it's not true. It is, Hawks replied softly. The in-charge was in a bad mood, and he was coming for me, so I panicked and put Toya's name forward. I should have died that day, he added, a tear falling down his cheek. Well, guess what, Buttercup? Today's that day. Lucky you, Dabi hollered as he detonated his quirk, blue flames shooting towards you and Hawks. Hawks shot 2 feathers back to you and they whisked you away to the other side of the room, keeping you out of the flames' way while he took the brunt of it, some of his feathers being singed in the process. Oh, the big hero, Dabi said loudly and sarcastically. Save the mother and child, how magnanimous. Shame you won't be around to see the child grow up, or better yet, once I've wiped you from the face of this earth, I'm going to take her out too. See you in hell, he said darkly as he poised to throw another round of flames. Hawk stumbled back and shot his singed feathers at Dabi, a few of them slicing the purple-scarred villain across the face and arms before falling to the floor. It doesn't have to be like this, Touya, Hawk screamed, ducking and barrel rolling out of the way as blue flames were hurled at him. Yes, it does, Dabi screamed back, releasing more flames and scorching Hawks's right wing. Ah, Hawks grunted as he tucked his wing back, but it was too late. That side had already been severely charred. Any last words, hero? Dabi hollered, preparing for the final attack. No! You screamed, pushing up to your feet and running in between Dabi and Hawks just as Dabi activated his quirk. Don't! Hawks screamed, jumping forward and grabbing you around the waist before throwing himself and you out the open door to Dabi's right. Instinctively you braced for the flames to impact, but only felt intense heat before you were swiftly removed by Hawks. He did a barrel down the hallway, with you wrapped in his arms, his wing balance severely damaged by Dabi's quirk as he randomly slammed into hall walls, carrying you to safely. He made it outside and looked at you in his arms. Rocket launch, he whispered feebly as he took off into the air. You didn't scream at all that time. Your heart was beating wildly as Hawks spiraled upward out of control. You shouldn't be flying, you called desperately to Hawks. You're hurt. I need to get you to safety, he rasped, his chest rising and falling rapidly as he gasped for air. Multiple times he had micro-sleeps, periods where he fell unconscious while flying, sending you both plummeting to the ground, but each time he'd come to just in the nick of time and shoot back up again. Having gotten you far enough away from the government building, he landed on a rooftop, placing you down and collapsing at your feet. Keigo, are you okay? You whispered in a quivering voice as you crouched down in front of him. He nodded feebly and hung his head low as he stayed on all fours in front of you. Just then you looked up and saw a purple mist of Kurogiri appearing, and you screamed, No, no, go away, you've done enough, leave us alone, you screamed as Darby's menacing form stepped out of the mist. Ah, but I didn't get to finish, Darby sneered as he raised his hand again. Quick as a flash, Hawks jumped up and turned, shooting towards Darby and tackling him off the side of the building. No, you screamed, running to the edge to see where they had gone. There was no sign of them. You knelt down, panting, while looking over the edge of the building to see if you could spot them below. I can't see them, you thought. Just then Hawks appeared without Darby and landed next to you, losing his footing on the edge of the building before falling unconscious and toppling over the edge. Quickly you reached out and touched him. Invincible, you thought internally as you activated your quirk. Hawks came to immediately and shot off back to where Darby was. He came barreling into the villain and pinned him to the ground. We're on the same team, Touya. Stop it, he barked. We're not on the same team, you dick, Darby growled as he fought to get free. We are. I hate the government. I'm trying to get things changed for the better. You've already helped my plans. We're invincible, Hawks said quickly. Screw you, Keigo. It's always been about you. I don't trust you and I never have. You're a sly, conniving bastard, Darby growled. If you didn't trust me, then why did you take out the second in charge? I was the one who told you about his plans, right? And I was right, yes? I saved your asses, Hawks panted as Darby got an arm free and punched him. I was taking my own revenge. You didn't save me, Darby grunted as he managed to wrangle Hawks and pin him down. Don't do this, Touya. You're not a real killer, Hawks said fearfully as he lay pinned under Darby. The scarred villain had one hand around Hawks's throat, cutting off his air supply slowly. Your mum, she doesn't know you're alive, does she? Hawks gasped. She's never fully recovered. I know where she is, though. Darby hesitated. What I did back then was unforgivable. I'm reminded of it daily, Hawks continued through ragged breaths. But we were 9 and scared. I'm so sorry. Darby pulled his hand away and hopped up. Where is she? He asked slowly with sorrow in his voice, not caring about Hawks' apology. I can take you to her, the winged hero said as he sat up, still breathing rapidly. I know we have a long way to go to mending our friendship, but we're not friends, Darby growled. Tell me where she is. I can't tell you, but I can take you there, and I can get you in and out undetected as well. I can also make it so that she remembers the feeling of seeing you and knowing that you're okay, but then she'll forget that she saw you, Hawks added as he stood up. And there ends chapter 63. Stay tuned for chapter 64.